Hey everyone, now we're going to be talking about planning instruction step 3. We're going to plan our instruction based on the foundations of universal design for learning, which are the three principles of multiple means of engagement, representation, and action and expression. So, starting with multiple means of engagement, I decided that my students are already going to be engaged because they're working in small groups and they're doing these investigations of different states of matter with their peers. I'm engaging them because I'm using real life and common materials that they're familiar with. It's going to help them make a connection between the concepts that I'm teaching because these are objects they're familiar with that they have at their home. Students will also be exchanging their ideas orally and justifying their thinking with materials for support. So it's a great scaffold for them as well. Again, they can use their five senses to help them distinguish between the three states of matter. For principle number 2, multiple means of representation, I'm going to begin my lesson with the KWL chart to activate their prior knowledge about states of matter and the conditions in which matters change. I'll also be pre-teaching vocabulary to support students when they're working in a group, so that will support them when they're required to classify the different states of matter. Graphic organizers will be provided, which is another way of providing multiple means of representation. This will enable students to record their observations of the different states of matter when they're working in their small groups. After the lesson, I'll play a States of Matter song, which will help them reinforce the vocabulary that we're working on and to provide them with a cue to recall the lesson in subsequent lessons. And finally, as a follow-up, we're going to play a Kahoot game because my kids love gameplay, and that will allow them to, again, work collaboratively in their group and to give them a different way to see other materials that will help them to distinguish between different states of matter based on pictures of objects they're familiar with. Down to UDL principle number 3, multiple means of action and expression. So this particular principle also helps students in terms of their language acquisition and how they can show me what they know. I've already talked about the manipulatives that I'm providing, and this is going to help with language acquisition and provide a prompt for helping them to apply what they're learning in a real life context. They're going to be giving pictures that will help them to classify different items in their graphic organizer. And then we'll be doing a group share that will give them an opportunity to explain how they classify the items. And finally, we can extend students' thinking and help transfer their learning by having them do an investigation of their lunch that they brought to school that day and classifying the items in their lunchbox as either solid, a liquid, or gas. Well, that's just one example of how you can use the UDL Foundation principles to help us in terms of designing instruction. Thanks so much.